Hurricane Milton makes landfall in Florida, flash flood alerts issued. Live updates. Hurricane Milton made landfall in the U.S. on the western coast of Florida on Wednesday, October 9th, after passing through the Gulf of Mexico. The National Hurricane Center projects that Milton will bring life-threatening hazards to the western coast up and down central and southern Florida, centered on the Tampa Bay area. The region is still recovering from Hurricane Helene, which made landfall in northern Florida's Big Bend region late on September 26, before carving a path of destruction through the southeast and killing more than 200 people. Follow live updates on Milton's path, the latest forecast and news from the ground as Florida residents prepare for the storm. The National Hurricane Center issued a flash flood emergency alert at 10 p.m. Eastern Time Wednesday night as Milton's position moved inland. Sustained winds of 86 miles per hour and gusts of 105 miles per hour were reported at a weather flow station at Egmont Channel. The flash flood emergency continued through midnight into Thursday for portions of west central Florida, including Tampa. As of 1 a.m. Eastern Time Thursday, damaging winds from Milton are now reaching Florida's east coast. Over 2 million Florida residents are without power, according to PowerOutages.us. Outages are expected to grow as Milton moves across central Florida, notes CNN. Hurricane Milton made landfall near Siesta Key, Florida at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time Thursday night, reports the National Hurricane Center. The NHC warned of a life-threatening storm surge, extreme winds, and flash flooding occurring over the central Florida peninsula. As of 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Milton is now a Category 3 hurricane, although the National Hurricane Center warns that it could still be a major hurricane when it makes landfall, which is predicted to take place tonight. The center of the storm is expected to hit near or just south of the Tampa Bay region, before moving across the central part of the Florida peninsula overnight, and emerge off the east coast of Florida on Thursday. Although still hours away from landfall, Floridians in the path of Milton are already beginning to experience heavy rain and strong winds, and the National Weather Service said it's time to shelter in place. Tropical storm force winds, flooding rains, and tornadoes are spreading inland across FL. They wrote in an update. Unless a life-threatening situation arises, stay indoors and follow updates. In their latest update, the National Hurricane Center said Milton is predicted to make landfall along the west-central coast of Florida. Mistaken Milton alert sends so early on Wednesday, October 9th, an evacuation alert went out for Seminole County, warning of an emergency alert, and said the county had ordered people to leave because of Milton. Minutes later, another alert was sent out that clarified the evacuation order was only for mobile homes, flood areas, and persons with special needs. But that short window of time led to confusion and backlash. Your first alert terrified this community, and you've dropped the ball clarifying, sending folks scrambling for accurate info. One resident tweeted to county officials on X. With hours left to go before landfall, as of Wednesday, October 9th, Milton is now a Category 4 hurricane. However, as the National Hurricane Center cautioned, Milton is still expected to remain an extremely dangerous major hurricane when it reaches the west-central coast of Florida. The storm is expected to remain at hurricane strength as it moves across the Florida peninsula on Thursday, October 10th, but is forecasted to become an extratropical storm by early Friday, October 11th, as it continues to weaken. The NHC went on to warn that several tornadoes are likely to form across central and southern Florida as a result of the storm. On Wednesday, October 9th, the National Hurricane Center stated that Milton is expected to remain an extremely dangerous major hurricane when it reaches the west-central coast of Florida. The 5 a.m. statement added that Milton remained a Category 5 hurricane with winds gusting at over 160 miles per hour. On the forecast track, the center of Milton will move across the eastern Gulf of Mexico today, make landfall along the west-central coast of Florida late tonight or early Thursday morning, and move off the east coast of Florida over the western Atlantic Ocean Thursday afternoon, the NHC added. Hurricane conditions are expected in the hurricane warning area across Florida beginning this evening through early Thursday, the NHC continued. Tropical storm conditions are expected to begin in the warning area on the east coast of Florida tonight and along the Georgia coast on Thursday. Milton strengthens to a Category 5 storm again. October 8, 2024, 5:31 p.m. EDT. Copy the link to this blog post. On Tuesday, October 8th, the National Hurricane Center announced that satellite images indicated that Milton's maximum sustained winds increased to near 165 miles per hour, making it a Category 5 storm once again. Fluctuations in intensity are likely while Milton moves across the eastern Gulf of Mexico, but Milton is expected to be a dangerous major hurricane when it reaches the west-central coast of Florida Wednesday night. Their advisory added. Veteran meteorologist John Morales tells people that at the time of his viral broadcast, where he teared up while reporting live on Milton's potential devastation, he had just learned the storm had temporarily reached Category 5 status. The wind speeds more than tripled in the span of just over 24 hours, he says. Then I'm looking at the barometric pressure, which is a measure of the intensity of the hurricane, he adds, and I'm seeing the pressure drop precipitously. I'm doing a calculation in my head just before I turn to the camera and I start to talk, and my voice breaks when I say it has dropped 50 millibars in 10 hours, which to a meteorologist means a lot. Morales says that throughout his career, he's always been a just the facts guy and not an alarmist when it comes to his weather forecasts. People appreciate that in a TV market where tropical weather is hyped up immensely, he says. I've always been swimming against the current. I'm always the guy that doesn't hype things out of proportion. And yet suddenly people saw that reaction from me yesterday, and I think that's in part why I apologized. But it's also in part why it became viral. Disney World announced in a statement that starting on Wednesday, October 9th, all theme parks in Disney Springs will be closed in phases. Disney's Hollywood Studios and Disney's Animal Kingdom will close at 1 p.m. local time, while Magic Kingdom Park, Epcot and Disney Springs will close at 2 p.m. It is likely the theme parks will remain closed on Thursday, October 10th. We will consider opening Disney Springs on Thursday in the late afternoon, with limited offerings. The statement continued. Universal Orlando